And we're live.
Hello, SHL. It's Rich and Adam. Number 28.
28.
Heck yeah. Pretty good.
Almost to 30.
Yeah, just about.
It means we got to start thinking about a guest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's funny when we talked about that, we talked about that off air about trying to figure out guest stuff. It was like, we just finished 25. Like 30 is
Yeah.
a long way down the road. And now
Plenty of
we're 2 weeks out of 30. So
Yeah. Definitely got to start thinking about it if we're actually going to do it.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who do you want to
Wait,
see on the podcast?
yeah.
The three people that listen to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
ML.
Yeah, definitely let us know. Although, yeah.
I think we got our own ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got a few questions to talk about this week.
Just a few.
And then we're going to spend a little time, I guess, digging into awards and maybe playoff predictions.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. It's that's kind of the stuff that I would normally actually. I think JSS is usually the one who asks for award
Usually.
predictions.
Usually.
So I was kind of surprised I did not see that. But we will do that anyway.
Yeah, well, we got a lot to cover this week. So do we want to just hop right into questions then? Get those out of the way?
I think so. I think the big thing we would have talked about is basically the first question anyway.
Yeah. So first question from Flappy. Do you like the relocation of Seattle? And I don't know why you'd ask. I mean, this is a rich question because obviously I liked it. I approved it.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the location. Tampa Bay I think is a little weird. But yeah, I don't know. I realize people have issues with the logo because it's
San Jose.
Yeah, and it's I guess like just basically with a name over the front of it. It's something that's already kind of out there. I don't know where it came from, but I think somebody put a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a huge amount. Like it wasn't like a really I don't know, ton of work done on it. It's not super unique to us.
No, it's definitely a broader.
I don't know how you. I don't know
I don't know what the word to use for it is.
Yeah, it's not custom. It's not like a totally custom SHL job.
Yeah, it is a logo that was found.
Yeah, which I don't really care about, to be honest, because I wouldn't know one way or the other. I couldn't tell you which of the ones in the league are that or are otherwise. I mean, other than the Dragons, obviously, because everybody knows at this point because it's kind of been made a big deal of. But yeah, I don't know. I like the logo. I'm okay with the colors, even if they are kind of an existing NHL team colors. Logo looks good on a jersey, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, the only thing I find weird is the location. But I think part of that is due to the logo itself. The Barracuda is tough to pin down. There's not a lot you can do with it in terms of location.
Yeah, you need something seaside-y.
Yeah.
I like Tampa, but that's because I like real Tampa too.
Yeah. I just find it's weird for us to have two Florida teams, I think, given the quantity of teams we have in total and the other kind of cities that are missing, and then to take a team out of Seattle as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that whole. It's not that I don't like Tampa. I don't like kind of like the total situation of other cities available / Seattle. I think was a good location.
Yeah. I think I don't remember where I was. I think I was talking about this in Toronto. Yeah, I was talking about it in Toronto. That it's hard for me to blame JSS for wanting to distance himself from Seattle. I mean, they're a team with history, but the last 10, 15 seasons, that history's pretty turbulent, I think is a good word for it. I mean, Seattle had a history of GMs who weren't the greatest. I'm thinking very particularly of Clardy. But also Sammy, God love him. And Static, unfortunately, got put into a shitty situation and did what he could. Beyond that, Seattle's kind of got a history. I'm gonna get like crucified for this by some people probably. Just want to get that out of the way while I'm in the middle of the rant. Seattle's got a bit of a history of mediocrity as far as their performances go. Some seasons just being downright awful.
I think anything past, I think it's S37 has been pretty bad.
Yeah.
In terms of performance. 30, I think 36 and 37. They had actually, I think, one of the best rosters in the league. I think 37, we were the best team in the league. But yeah, after that, and then even leading up to that, there were some questionable deals made for sure.
I have a hard time blaming JSS for wanting to get out of Seattle and distance himself from that brand. It's a turbulent brand with some stigmas attached to it.
Yeah.
I like Tampa Bay. I know that not everybody's gonna like Tampa Bay. But at the end of the day, I just can't blame JSS for wanting to not be associated with the history of that team right now.
I'm wondering how this. So, is there like a set in stone plan for like divisions or league
Yes.
organization? Is that like made public yet, or is that something I can?
I don't
tell us
think.
about?
You know what? I'm going to ping TDZ and ask him.
Okay. Well, up until then, my thought is I don't know what this does to the. Because I haven't really looked at a map recently to kind of figure out what the league looks like. But this obviously, we're taking one team and taking it from one coast and putting it on the other, basically. So that's obviously a big change. So, but I wonder if that makes that easier on, like, say, putting Chicago in, or I don't know, maybe again, I don't know where the other teams are. All the teams are at. So in my head, it's hard to figure out how many East teams and how many West teams we have that makes sense. But maybe it gives you more flexibility with a team like Chicago, having a
Chicago's nice because they could go.
Yeah, and moving
anywhere.
A team like this, I think maybe makes it. I don't know, because Chicago's. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I wish somebody had made a map a while back. I wish I knew where that was. That showed where the teams were. I think it was in media, but I'm not going to dig that far back because that's probably like a couple of months ago at this point. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. We'll come back to the division talk. I'm waiting on a response from TDZ, but when I get confirmation on whether I can or cannot talk about that, we'll bring that back up because I'm very excited with what we're doing for the divisions.
Cool. Yeah, I'm interested to find out. But yeah. Who is? Does JSS have a co-GM?
It's Toivo.
That's right. I knew that.
Toivo.
I just had forgotten. Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a ton else to say, I guess.
No. Yeah. The rebrand's polarizing, and I totally see why. I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion, so I'm okay with it. I don't really think it was necessary, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. When are they ever necessary?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Outside of just like genuinely, outside of like a Portland situation. And even then, I don't think Portland needed to.
Yeah, I
don't think Portland needed to move.
Yeah, we've talked about that a bunch, though. I think we're both quite big fans of the Portland branding.
Loved the Portland branding. Would love to see it come back.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you, Flappy, for the.
Yeah.
I could talk about Portland for fucking hours. Thank you, Flappy, for the question.
Yes. Much appreciated. For some reason, when I saw that question, I assumed it was JSS, and I didn't even bother looking at who asked it when he first posted it. I was like, "Oh, JSS wants us to talk about his rebrand." Okay.
Yeah.
And didn't even look.
I'd like to point out, while we're about to move on to questions from Luke, I'd like to point out that Luke apparently couldn't even be fucking bothered to refresh the page and find out that Flappy already asked one of his questions.
I didn't actually get to his third question. I got to the second one and I was like, what is this? I need to listen to these songs again and refresh my memory because it's been so long.
Um, this further proves that Luke is a fucking moron who cannot apparently be bothered to have the common decency to make sure he's not overlapping.
Well, to be fair, it was 4 minutes after, so it probably took him that long to write all that.
Yeah, he's bad at typing. He's bad at typing too.
Yeah, sick words per minute burn, Luke.
Great burn. You could not be a secretary.
Oh boy.
Speaking of Luke, we've got some questions from him.
Yeah.
Luke says, I think Rich is neat.
That's really nice.
Yeah, Rich is neat. He's a good guy. So you ended your season with 180 hits, 8 less than your previous season on a shittier team. So my question is, are you planning on re-signing?
Yeah.
Luke, I believe that's tampering, buddy.
That's a tough question. I'll talk about it because this offseason is going to be super weird, obviously.
It's gonna be wacky.
And I'd already talked to Grape a little bit about this. I didn't give him as much detail as I wanted to for some reason. I don't know. I just was like, I gave him my answer and then didn't expand on it, my like reasoning. But basically, it's the expansion is the kind of the roadblock here because I'm not under contract right now, and if an expansion team picks me up or decides to, I'm assuming I'm not going to be protected. I think it would be foolish for them to protect me, obviously. So my assumption is that I will be available, and if an expansion team drafts me in the expansion draft, I don't want to be under contract and locked in before that happens. Is basically what my thought process is. So that's why I haven't re-signed right yet. Not that I'm necessarily going to, but yeah, I just don't want to be locked in. And also, I want to keep my options open because maybe I'll want to go to an expansion team. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. But yeah, it's absolutely potentially re-signing. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
It's tough. This offseason's going to be wacky.
It's going to be weird for sure.
There's a lot that is going to be going down this offseason, especially with the draft and expansion and,
Yeah, which, and I think this is correct, but I don't know if I've actually seen an official thing on this, but we're not finding out like protected lists until after playoffs. Is that right?
As far as I'm aware.
That's what I'd heard somebody say that, but I didn't remember seeing that officially anywhere.
We've been pretty tight-lipped about expansion in general right now.
Okay. I think maybe Eggy said something about it. I don't remember.
Well, if Eggy said it, then it's probably law.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he overwrites anything I possibly do.
Yeah. I want to know what's going to happen because I assume I'm unprotected, but I want to know who. I want to know everybody. I want to find out what's possible in the draft. I'm really excited. Really excited. I think we were talking in the what's the team? The Pride. There we are.
Yeah, that's the one.
In their kind of public channel. With alumni and other random people. And I was just saying that I feel like it's not necessarily true of the East, but I think the West more so has been a little bit static in, I don't know, the past few seasons. Not completely, but it's just, I don't know. I'd like to see the kind of the league dynamic shaken up a little bit. And my hope is this expansion draft will do that.
That's
what I'm excited for.
That's more than fair.
Yeah.
Next is a big thing with Slappies involved, and you know how it is. Adam, you must have missed shitting on me last week because I didn't ask a question. I think I still managed to badmouth you somehow. But you would know better than me. I don't re-listen to this stuff. My question is, why is The Chain by Fleetwood Mac their best song? And so then Slappy comes in a little further down here and says, well, I don't agree with Adam's general opinions of you, Luke. And hey, that's fair. You're allowed to. You're clearly misguided. Their best song is Landslide, no doubt. And I'd like to say that you're both fucking wrong. Their best song's Rhiannon. Their best song's Rhiannon. or Dreams. I mean, look, Landslide and The Chain are fantastic songs in their own right. Chain in particular, I think, is like one of the only songs on Rumors that they wrote as a group. Like they were just kind of hanging out playing music, and The Chain came out of it. And The Chain's fucking fantastic. It's amazing. It's a great song. It's a great song. Landslide is a great song. Um, the whole the
Oh,
whole thing is like, sorry,
oh,
I was like, I lost sound for a second and was trying to figure out what happened. Um, I mean, Fleetwood Mac is a great record. The self-titled is a fantastic record, and Landslide's phenomenal. The Chain is phenomenal, but I think Rhiannon's their best song.
so
Just
I don't.
in general.
I had to go back and listen to The Chain because I didn't know it by name. Once I heard it, I was like, "Oh yeah, this song, right?"
Yeah.
I didn't know it by name.
Everybody knows The Chain.
Yeah, but I'm not familiar with the ones. I probably have heard them, obviously, but the ones you're talking about, I'm not familiar with them by name either. Because that's the kind of person I am.
Yeah, I mean, I love you to death, Rich. I'm not gonna, not that you're expecting me to, but my initial reaction was like, oh, I'll just hum them. But for lack of like spending 10 minutes on this podcast just humming Fleetwood Mac songs.
Yeah. I went. Yeah, like I said, I went back and listened to The Chain just to be sure. And I have to say, the album cover for Rumors makes me slightly uncomfortable.
Oh, with the dancing and
No,
yeah.
this this is the picture that I saw was just the one guy's got those two like balls hanging between his legs, and it's just like that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah. Rumors is a Rumors is a
Other
good
than
record.
that, it's fine, but that
Rumors is great.
uncomfortable.
It's really hard for me to pick a best Fleetwood Mac song because they have a lot of great songs. But The Chain and Landslide would be in my conversation. Chain, Landslide, Rhiannon, Dreams, and like I don't know. Don't Stop, maybe. There's there's a top five. There's a top five in no particular order. Dreams, Don't Stop, The Chain, Landslide, and Rhiannon. If I right now, my initial reaction was no. Rhiannon is the best Fleetwood Mac song. I love Dreams to death. That's a really cliche pick for like a best Fleetwood Mac song, but I think Dreams is a fucking phenomenal song. I totally respect Landslide and The Chain. Those are both excellent picks for a number one Fleetwood Mac song. I can't say that either of you are wrong. I also can't answer why The Chain is their best song because, like I said, trying to pick a best song from Fleetwood Mac is difficult. But they're great. Everybody go listen to Rumors. That's a phenomenal record that everybody should hear once in their life. But you know me, baby. I could talk about music all day.
That's true. And I can do the opposite. I don't have any really clue about music, so.
So then, obviously, Luke is a moron and asks the same fucking question again about Seattle. You already heard the answer, man. Just go back and play. Like, if you want it to feel like we answered your question, just go replay that segment and pretend that the lack of venom and hatred in my voice is directed at you and not Flappy.
Okay.
I'm going hard. I'm going hard this week, man. And that's it, I think, for questions. I think
that is actually, yeah. Not a whole lot. I mean, I guess there isn't a ton outside of the things,
Oh shit! Hold on.
Oh.
I just got not from TDZ, but I did just get a shitload of questions from Static and my DMs.
What a guy!
I said to him a little bit ago, last minute questions. We're about to start recording, and he just got back to me.
Very nice.
So this is more of a general question. What do you think of all the changes and rebrands coming from teams in the last few seasons in general here?
I mean, okay, so I think it's the ones that we've had have been positive.
Yeah, I
Because there
think
were
so.
some teams that had some weak branding for sure. We're talking about things like New England. God, what was the other one? There's another big one that was part of. Wasn't there? Am I losing my mind?
New England got the
Edmonton, I guess.
rebrand. Edmonton was a little bit ago.
That was a while ago. I thought there was another one that was
Manhattan rebranded
happening.
to the Bull.
Oh, it was the. I'm thinking of like the. There was a contest for Seattle. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
That
the
never.
Seattle contest that didn't happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it happened, but it never. It never. Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't.
nothing
Yeah.
came of it.
So Manhattan, Edmonton, and New England are the big ones.
Yeah, there's a couple. Like we had the Anchorage Armada
Yeah, that was a
appearing
bit
as
ago.
well.
Colorado's rebrand.
Colorado as well. That was even further back than Armada, wasn't it?
Yeah, no.
Halifax.
I think Armada was first. Halifax rebrand, yeah. Although they didn't really rebrand as much as they did.
Just different logo.
Just different list. Detroit did the same thing.
Did the colors change
I don't think so.
for Halifax?
I think it's still like that goldy yellow, gray and black that it always was.
Yeah, I didn't remember the gold for sure. I guess it was gold, wasn't
It's
it?
kind of a goldy.
Okay.
It's a faded gold.
Yeah.
And Detroit
Montreal as well.
change. Montreal just changed their logo to apparently reference the fucking Impact. We talked about that when Argar was on, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Just bring the
that's right.
Impact back.
So just in general, I mean, I think it's positive for the most part because I think we're seeing like things that are, I don't know, a little more professional looking, which I think is really nice to have. I think it catches people's eye when they're looking at the teams because they do look. Some of them are incredible. Like obviously the Panthers is, I think probably like the kind of the gold standard in my opinion. Just like it's so good. It looks so professional. It's like really impressive. And to have like a whole league of teams that are kind of nearer to that level is good. I think good for the league.
Yeah, I think so. There have obviously been some brands and rebrands that I wasn't a huge fan of. I've talked about it before, but there are going to be brands and rebrands that everybody's not a huge fan of, like from person to person. But I think in general, it's been good for the site. It hasn't been. Nothing's been too drastic. I think Colorado was probably the most drastic change. Anchorage too. But those were so long ago now that like it just doesn't even feel like it was a long time ago that Prince George was in juniors. So
I'd like to see Winnipeg get a new logo. Calgary as well, but
I'd like to see Calgary and Winnipeg get new logos.
And Winnipeg's feels a bit like it feels kind of a little out of place with the rest of the logos at this point, I think.
Which one, Winnipeg or Calgary?
Winnipeg.
I really like that Winnipeg logo, but it definitely does feel out of place.
Calgary's is, I mean, it feels like appropriate, but obviously for, I think reasons that are solid.
Yes, the
should
Jakarta
probably be
Dragons
changed at some point. Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
essentially a joke at this point.
Yeah, no, it's a huge joke. I don't remember how like when Eggy got traded. I think all of us in head office just congrats on getting traded to the Jakarta Dragons.
Yeah,
it's a running joke, and Calgary should probably change it.
That might have been like in the first reply to that trade as well, or one of the first.
It probably was.
It was quite high. Yeah,
we're running that one into the ground, but it's still funny every time I see it.
I need to look now. Yeah, yep. The next, and actually, it's Ace that says it. Because he's accepting the trade and saying, "Best of luck in Jakarta."
Yeah, best of luck in Jakarta. Yeah, yeah, that sounds like Ace.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So I guess that was the question, right? Just the rebranding in general, rebrands in general.
Yeah, that covers that one. Do either of you think that Chicago or New Orleans can pull off? What was that pronunciation? Do either of you think that Chicago or New Orleans can pull off a Vegas and make some noise in their inaugural season, or is Simon too random to predict?
Simon's not too random to predict.
No, we've seen that.
Yeah, it's really not. I mean, there are random elements, but for the most part, it's quite predictable. In terms of like results, meaning like wins, losses of teams, things like that, based on roster strength and the individual performances that lead up to those results. Those are the things that are a little bit more random, can be. But I think for the most part, it's not random. But having said that, I think it really depends on how the expansion draft goes and the offseason and like how their rosters shake out. That's going to be like obviously super important. I would be doubtful if they're like contenders right away, but I could see them as potentially fringe playoff teams. But again, we have to see the what the rosters are going to look like before we can really say that with any certainty.
Agreed. I think that it's totally possible, and we'll be able to talk about it in more detail once lists are out. I'd like to see one of them kind of go big with it, you know? I think it'd be fun to see one of them get just a really good roster roll in and get some chemistry going and really shake things up.
And it's going to depend on the like the league reorganization as well.
Absolutely. Which
I
we
didn't
are
even
going to
think about
talk
that.
about. I've gotten permission to talk about that, so
Ooh,
we will talk about divisions.
Can we do that before? Because I guess it's maybe that makes it really complicated and even more difficult. In the way the league's laid out right now, whichever team's in the East, I think, is more likely to make the playoffs.
Yes, and let me check. I don't know if TDZ really wanted me to, but apparently GMs have been talking about it, so I've been given free reign. Chicago's in the East.
Okay, so
Chicago is in the East.
Okay. So yeah, I think they're probably more likely to be able to make a playoff run. But again, we have to see the expansion draft before that's even like a thing that's worth considering.
Before talking about it, we need to see what it shakes out to look like as far as their
Yeah.
rosters.
And they could even, depending on who's available, they could even try to build for the future. Try to get younger, and build a slightly weaker team. Yeah, it's really hard to say, but it's possible, I'd say.
In the same vein, which team do you see being better 5 seasons from now, Chicago or New Orleans?
Probably New Orleans.
For me, it's just because Joe K and TZ.
I think they're going to draw potentially free agents. I feel like, people are going to want to play for them. So I feel like that will be a desirable destination, which is kind of a bummer for Valever, to be honest.
I don't think Valever is going to be a turnoff for free agents.
No, certainly not.
But I think that Joe K and TDZ have more of a public reputation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Valves obviously is involved with international and a bunch of the more world-based hockey stuff on the site. But I think Joe K and TDZ have a much bigger public persona to get behind. And you're right. For that reason, I think FAs will be more attracted to them because they know them.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if Valves can put together a good free agency pitch, then there's nothing stopping them from getting free agents.
Yeah, for sure.
So I will say New Orleans.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Again, it depends. We saw the last expansion. Again, this is hopefully going to be, go way differently. But the two teams built very differently in the expansion draft. Buffalo went for kind of more of a win now type thing, which, I mean, win now meaning like be okay right now. And Portland went for more of like a building for the future kind of a style.
Yeah,
I don't really remember. I guess
it's been a minute since that happened, and I don't think I was even on the site when it happened.
No, that was S20. That would have been the S25 draft.
Then way before my time.
So S25. Yeah. So yeah. But neither of them were good for a while.
And that happens.
Yeah.
Last question from Static. What is your least favorite flavor of Skittle?
Do they have different flavors? I guess
they do.
I guess they kind of do. I don't know. They're sugar basically. I don't know.
I don't know if he means like.
Oh,
Like
that's right. You know, like
individual flavor, or like what's your least favorite
like the
pack of Skittles?
yeah, because the packages do have distinctly different flavors. But I only ever eat the normal
The
because
regular
like
ones,
I feel
yeah.
like when I'm getting some weird, variation, I'm getting something that I'm not familiar with, not comfortable with. So I'm
Let's
not
go
gonna
to the
gamble with that.
let's do a Tweedle and go to the Wikipedia and look. Let's take a look at the different Skittles bags that exist. Holy shit, there's a lot.
I guess when I found out how many different M&Ms there were, that was a surprise. Kind of Skittles
So
feels
we
like it'd be
got.
easier to create variations of.
Oh man, that's fucked. Did you know? I didn't know this. Skittles in the UK and Ireland and apparently Sweden as well are flavored black currant and not grape.
Wait, what?
The black currant. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's a very
Hmm.
tasty berry.
Oh, I've not had that.
But
I don't know what that is.
there was a thing in the States during World War. Was it during World War II? No, it was early 1900s. The black currant was pretty popular in the U.S., but those berries were a vector of a foliage disease that affected white pines. And in like the UK and Ireland, they didn't have any white pines, but the U.S. was fucking full of them, and so the government banned the black currant growing in the
Hmm.
U.S. Because they thought it was going to be a threat to the logging industry.
Is this from the Wikipedia page, or is this from your head?
No, that was like a thing that I think I was watching. What the hell was I watching? I think I was
Oh,
watching a guy review MREs,
oh,
and
weird.
he was talking about it. In that case, he was reviewing a British MRE, and he was talking about black currant.
That's weird. Okay, interesting. That's a weird thing to know.
Man, look, I pick up really stupid shit. I'm gonna say that my least favorite flavor of Skittle is green apple
Okay,
because
I
that's
have no.
that was the first flavor I saw. Ugh, lemon. Never mind. I'm changing my answer. Lemon Skittles, get fucked.
The only thing I remember about Skittles are like the weird any of the variation on the original. I just didn't. I never really liked.
They I like the sour ones,
Yeah, I hate sour stuff,
but
man.
I'm
So
I'm a huge fan of sour shit. So
yeah, I never got it. Never got it. It's unpleasant to me. So
there's
like I don't know.
my
I can't
god,
understand it.
there's a lot of different Skittles.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not surprised. I guess.
What the hell? I mean the tropical Skittles are okay if you're into like mango and pineapple and shit. If you like tropical fruit, the tropical ones are okay. I don't know.
I
Fuck
guess
lemon Skittles.
I never. I guess I would always eat them like by like not the handful, but I would throw a couple in my mouth. So I guess I never really noticed a different flavor. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean when you eat them all at once, they just kind of blend together into the taste
Yeah,
of sugar because they're just sugar.
yeah, pretty much.
Um, cool. Thanks, Static.
Yeah,
Um,
that's much appreciated.
in vain, I said I had a question. I think from JSS, but it might have been from somebody else. In the same vein, they asked me, but I'm gonna open it up to you too. Outside
Hmm.
of peanut M&Ms, what is your least favorite candy?
Anything sour.
That's fair. I said black licorice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I'm not a candy person at all.
I'm not really either.
Um, I used to like basically Snickers was kind of like the thing I would have. It's pretty much it.
That's tasty.
Um, yeah, that's kind of it, honestly. I mean, I had occasionally other things, but like Halloween is like the only time I'd really get much candy. But yeah, sour stuff for no. Or is big like hard
Sour
no. No, thank you.
sour stuff. Yeah, I can't do black licorice. That's like the one that I will not do.
I've never really liked any licorice just because it felt like I don't know,
That's fair.
like
I like
I don't know.
Twizzlers, and that's about it.
Yeah, it feels like I don't know. I don't. It's never dug on it.
It's
It's
not
like
great.
rubbery and
Yeah.
takes a little bit to get the flavor out. And
Like
I don't know.
if someone offers me a Twizzler, I'll eat it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get Twizzlers.
Hmm.
But if someone offered me black licorice, I would turn that down. Like it's just I can't do the. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. it just, I don't, what does it taste like? I don't even know.
I don't think I've ever had it.
It's bad. I mean, in Nordic countries, they put salt and shit in it.
Hmm.
Oh no, I mean, black licorice is salty. It has sodium chloride in it.
Weird.
But in Nordic black licorice, salty licorice, which I think is just salmiakki. That might be the word for it. It's just like filled with ammonium. I don't get I just black licorice. I can't do it. That's not great.
That's weird.
So with that in mind, let's talk about divisions.
Heck yeah.
Let's do some division talk because that's exciting.
Heck yeah. Breaking right here.
This technically isn't public. This technically isn't public. So let's talk. What do you want to talk about first, Rich? West or East?
So we're gonna remain two like separate conferences. Is that right?
That's the plan. We're still doing Western Eastern Conference. We're not doing.
Okay, and
like
is there
an
going to be?
ALNL.
All right, and there's not going to be any divisions within the conferences.
Oh no, there are. No,
there are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing it very much like the real NHL, where you've got your East-West conference, but then you have your divisions within.
Okay, so my expectation is then the two divisions per, because obviously that'd be four teams per division.
That's correct.
Yeah, makes total sense. So I'm assuming again these are going to be like divisions based on like geographical proximity for the most part.
Yeah,
it's difficult to do with. Yeah, because it's with what we've got, it's tricky.
Yeah, we've got it as geographically similar as we can get it. I think it's rough in the East, especially. It's rough. The West is a little more easy to figure out, but in the East, especially, it's rough.
Are both the expansion teams going to be in the same conference?
No.
Okay.
No, we put Chicago in the East and we put New Orleans in the West.
I was going to say seems like it would be possible, but I feel like that'd be a bit of a mistake.
Oh no. What do you want to start with, Rich? Do you want to talk West or East?
Which I don't know about.
What do you want to talk, Rich? What do you want to talk, West or East?
Let's do East.
Okay, so we have. I mean, the divisions are unnamed. We don't have divisions named yet. I'd like to call this one the Great Lakes Division.
Okay.
But currently, we have a division of the Buffalo Stampede, the Toronto North Stars, the Chicago Syndicate, and the Hamilton Steelhawks.
Okay.
They're pretty close in proximity. Toronto-Hamilton is tough to break up because that is the Ontario rivalry. Mm-hmm. Buffalo is closer to, I believe they're closer to Hamilton than any other city in the Northeast that is in the SHL. And Chicago's fairly close to Ontario, separated by the Great Lake.
Right.
So that's kind of like a Great Lakes division. I don't know if we're going to call it that, but that's in my head what it is right now.
Okay.
And then the second conference in the East is almost more of a coastal conference. West Kendall, Tampa as your Florida teams, and then New England, Manhattan, maintaining that Northeastern rivalry, because we actually did the math on this. Initially, we had Manhattan in the conference with Buff, Tor, and Hamilton, and Chicago with West Kendall, Tampa, and New England, but we switched it. We did the math on it. Manhattan is closer to Boston than it is to Buffalo.
Feels like it makes a bit more sense anyway, because with the I mean, it's not really this way in the league, but in reality, a New England Manhattan thing would probably exist, right?
Yeah, exactly. The Boston and New York is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are your Eastern divisions: Buff, Tor, Chicago, Hamilton, and then WKP, Tampa, New England, and Manhattan. One's fine. I think the East is fine.
Wait a minute. Who's missing? Minnesota is missing. Okay.
We've moved Minnesota to the West.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about the West then.
Yeah.
So first conference in the West is basically the Canadian Conference: Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Minnesota.
Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's tough. Holy shit.
That's gonna be a tough division.
Yeah.
That is three juggernauts.
That's nasty.
And a half juggernaut.
Yeah.
Which then leaves for the second Western Division: San Francisco, LA, Texas, New Orleans.
Interesting.
Which is kind of like your Southwest Division.
Yeah. again, we get stuck with these kind of weird, just because
Yeah.
where everyone's at. It's tough to.
The common theme with these is that you've got a division of teams that are pretty bunched together: Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Chicago, Hamilton.
Yeah.
And then you've got a
Kind of
division,
the leftovers.
Yeah, you've got a division where two teams are really close to each other in pairs, and then the two pairs are kind of split from each other.
Yeah.
West Kendall, Tampa close, New England, Manhattan close, but they're split. San Francisco, Los Angeles close, Texas, New Orleans close, but they're split.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the West has stayed that way. The only change we made from the initial draft was moving Chicago to Manhattan spot with Buff Tor Hamilton, and moving Manhattan back over to the Coastal Division. But that's the way the divisions are laying out right now. And I think that's what we're going forward with. I think that's what's set in stone.
Interesting. Huh. So, and that's just the divisions. Do we have any idea? Again, I don't want to get ahead of the head office here, and I don't want you to spill any beans here, but do we have any idea how this is going to play out in terms of scheduling? It's going to be obviously more divisional matchups than anything else, but
yes, I think we have this. I don't
that all figured
know
out?
the numbers. Oh no, here we go. I think we have the numbers. I do not know if this is public, so my head.
Okay, well,
my
I mean,
head
if you don't
might-
want to,
no, it's
I don't
fine.
want to.
But no one look like it's not like 80% of the site listens to this. We don't have a listener ratio high enough that I'm going to get fired for this. Not to disparage ourselves, but we just don't have the numbers that would make this a problem.
Yeah, we love our listeners though.
We do love them to pieces,
We just
except Luke.
you're not
that guy.
There's just not enough of you.
We're still doing a 50 game schedule.
Right. I assume that, yeah.
And I believe what we're working in is a 6-4-2, 6 division, 4 conference, 2 out of conference. So you'll play 6 games within your own division, 4 games within the rest of the teams of the conference, which would work out to, 4 games against the rest of the conference. And then 2 games against everybody else, right? So 6 games against your divisional guys, that's 18. 4 games against the other 4 in the conference, that's 16. And then 2 games against the other 8, that's another 16.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
And that keeps us at a 50 game schedule.
Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense as well.
It means that cross country rivalries are going to be a little less prominent, like Buffalo and everybody. But yeah, we're still working to keep the 50 game schedule to make sure that we're still in line. If we do another expansion, we are going to have to bump the schedule number up, but that shouldn't theoretically be happening for quite a while.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's gonna anytime. I mean, we were, what is this season? This is like 20 seasons between expansions.
Yeah, something like that.
So
we should be good. I should be long dead by the time the next expansion happens. But those are the divisions, and that's the way the schedule is going to lay out. So there's your HO information block.
Man, that's cool. I'm really, really excited for this.
I'm excited. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah. Man.
So we are. Yeah, we got time. What do you want to talk about? Awards? Yeah.
Let's do some awards.
Let's punch through awards and then do some playoff predictions.
Heck yeah. All right.
So now I have to pull up the fucking awards list.
Yeah, I had to do the same because I can never remember. Seasonal ones. That's the one.
Okay, I got it. Let's see. Ron Mexico.
Mexico is the MVP.
Yeah,
this one's really tough.
MVP. My money's on Garrett. I yelled about this.
That's who I favor. I favor Garrett as well.
I yelled about this in that podcast I did with Static. My money's on Garrett.
Yeah, I think he's, and for my money, he's the best. He's the truest MVP, most valuable. I guess it depends on your kind of definition of what that exactly means, but
consider that the guy the next closest guy on his team is, what is that, like almost 20 points behind
SLM.
him?
Yeah, it's 18 points.
Yeah, Garrett is a huge part of why Texas is doing so well.
In my eyes, I say no Garrett. I don't think they might still make the playoffs, but
they'd be squeaking in 4.
Yeah, he makes that team offensively. Like
he's their dynamo. He's their dynamo.
Yeah, Yeah, he's the one who does it
Um,
for them.
so
I think.
for me, Garrett, easy pick for
Yeah,
Raw
I,
Mexico.
I agree with that. I don't think it's as like super cut and dry as last season, but I still think he's the favorite in my eyes.
Yeah. Um, John McBride, best goalie.
I mean, that's Tuck.
Yeah, it's Tuck. Tuck's having a season.
Yeah, yeah, he had a great season, no question.
No, there should be no question as to that. That it makes total sense.
Yeah,
For Tuck to win
there's no close second.
No.
So.
Scott Stevens, top D.
Oof. I have to look because I didn't look ahead at this one.
Top D in points is Dude, but you could make an argument for Callahan or for O'Callahan or Kozanen. Hell, you could make an argument for McKella and Landvik too.
Damn. Oh yeah, that point spread is pretty tight. Even like there's
down
there's
to
a bunch
10,
of guys
down to 10. It's super.
Yeah, all the way.
close.
It's only a 4-point difference. I guess at that point I'd start looking at Kostan's leader in shot blocks in the league.
Yeah.
Dude's only a couple behind him though. A couple. I mean, that's what 7.
Yeah. Landvik's top 10 in hits though.
Landvik's in hits though. Yeah.
Landvik top 10 in hits.
Tough one.
Dude's got 12 power play goals, and that's huge.
And I believe that's the record for most power play goals in the league. And yeah, I think that is.
Dude is converting, and that's big.
Yeah, man. I feel like with that, and since the point, yeah, he is the leader in points. 18 goals as a defenseman is kind of ridiculous.
It's pretty nutty.
That's like just outside of the top 10 for goals, like among all players. Like because the number 10 is 22. He's got 18. That's pretty crazy.
That's a pretty easy sell for me on.
Yeah, I think the dude.
On Dude.
Yeah. The only guy I think is probably I'd go maybe Kosonen next, but I feel like that 18 goals is bananas. That's crazy.
It's nutty. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the dude on that one. Ryan Jester, top rookie. Let's just look who's leading the rookies in points.
It's Winters, isn't it?
Then it's Winters. Yeah, but not by much. Not by much. Thomason's 18-19 for 37. Winters is 18-24 for 42. 5 points is 5 points is a spread, but how did Thomason affect his team more than Winters? I mean, it's going to be one of the two of them.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be Winters. Just on neither team was good, so
Winters has got the points. He's got the numbers.
Yeah, I'd give it to Winters.
Sorry, Luke. Yeah, sorry. I'm not. I am a little sorry, but not as much as Rich is probably. Lance Uppercut, best GM.
Lance Uppercut. Oh boy, this one's always tricky.
Who made moves? You know who made moves?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember. Maybe you go. I mean, Wes Kendall, maybe Edmonton, maybe.
Edmonton, actually, maybe. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I think neither of them. Like, there's nobody in the league. I think Toronto made moves, but honestly, I feel like it slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but that's kind of the nature of the beast. Sometimes you add some players and the lines just don't work anymore, or as well as they were. But
yeah, maybe
so Edmonton or Wes Kendall. I think they both, because Wes Kendall got what's his name, right? Blanken. TDZ's guy.
They got TDZ, but Edmonton also got Joe K.
Yeah, so I think those two, they both improved. Well, Edmonton improved more, so I think I'd probably favor them.
Yeah, I was going to say I think Edmonton's probably the pick there, just because of how much Joe K improved their offense. I mean, look at them now.
Mm-hmm.
Joe McKeel, best coach.
I'm gonna go Minnesota.
Yeah, I think Minnesota's a really safe pick.
I think you could probably go Texas as well. You might argue Edmonton just because they got probably more. I mean, they had such a good roster. It's hard to argue they got more out of their players, but they got a lot out of the players. They had an excellent season.
You could pick Texas. You could pick Minnesota. I mean, Manhattan damn near made the playoffs. There's an argument to be made for Manhattan. It's not very strong, but it's there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
Either way, my vote is probably going to Texas or Minnesota. They got a lot out of those rosters.
Yeah, I think I might favor Edmonton because
85
their season was insane.
My God.
Yeah. It's hard to. I mean, even with their roster being so clearly stronger than everybody else's, it's still impressive.
It's impressive to get. Yeah, no, 40 plus wins is unbelievable.
Yeah. Jeff Dar. Did we do Jeff
Jeff
Dar?
Dar. Yeah, Jeff Dar, 2-way forward.
That's probably TDZ's guy.
Yep,
I think.
that's my thought.
Why am I forgetting his name? What is my
it's
problem?
Roman Augustus.
Yes, that's right. God, I don't know how. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I think it's probably Roman Augustus.
TDZ.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, Augustus is number 2 in assists. He's top 10 in shots. He's top 3 in right wingers.
Yeah, he's third in the league in points.
Third in the league in points. And almost 200 hits.
Yep.
Yeah,
pretty
I
nuts.
think Augustus is the pick for that.
Yeah.
Damian Littleton, most dedicated.
Plus 27 is bananas. Jesus. I mean, so is Joe K's plus 40, but still.
Yeah, most dedicated. Damian Littleton. It's probably gonna be Evok.
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that.
Yeah. I mean, all of head office. Head office collectively.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a joke. That was
what?
That was.
Come on, you're plenty dedicated. Don't.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up in HO at some point and see if they laugh. And I think the last one is the Aiden Rishin breakout star, but we always.
Oh, this one's always.
We always don't talk about this because it requires a lot of work.
Yeah, let me no. No. I'll probably miss somebody too. Maybe ML, maybe.
Oh, Lukinov, yeah.
He had a pretty good season. I don't know what his last season though. I thought he was okay last season too though. But I mean,
I don't know, man.
What about GSS's guy, Lagerfield?
Yeah, you could make
got 44 points.
Yeah, you can make an argument for Lagerfield. I don't know. That one requires me having to go to a different index. And I barely like going to the index I have open.
I don't see anybody that totally is an obvious choice.
Yeah.
So.
Lombardi? No. He's not even top 25.
Yeah, he's been okay before.
Yeah.
I think he's been a 40-point scorer before.
I believe he has. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
Get back
that one's always tricky.
Season rolls around.
That's the one I think if I was on the awards committee, I would always hate.
I hate it. I hate the Rishin. It's the worst.
It's so much more difficult than the other ones. The other ones, I mean, they do require some thought, but relative to that one, it's not even close.
I think that's it. We don't have to talk about the Ona Prienko because no one wins that.
I mean, nobody deserves it. We're all kind of shit.
Yeah, no one deserves. I mean, Eggy got it. Eggy deserved it.
Although we did have that PT about it a couple of weeks back, right?
I don't do PTs anymore, Rich.
Yeah.
I updated for the first time in a month yesterday.
It was that, what do you call it? That, there was several options and you could choose to write about more than one and write fewer words or write more words about a single option. And one of the options was who you think should win. I chose Argar. I thought, he's done a lot of stuff, in terms of the top 100's been going on for, I don't know, it feels like as long as I've been in the league. All the Hall of Fame stuff, all the kind of history related things he does. I feel like he's a decent choice. I don't think there's other ones out there like XD Park. I remember seeing somebody else had put a good suggestion in, but I can't remember who it was. It's I don't know. Doesn't matter. Whatever. So there you go.
Yeah. I just looked at a thing. I don't know what this means. This is the first time I'm looking at anything in the player progression subforum in a month. Mm-hmm. When did Mike Izzy start adding note? Any posts with malicious intent will not be graded.
I'm not sure when that started. I think it started shortly after he took over the spot.
Okay, second question. What the hell is malicious intent?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure. I did have one where I had thought about writing something that I thought might have fallen into that category slightly. But I don't know. Again, I don't know exactly what that means because it's hard to I don't know, pick out intent, I guess. unless it's like just, I don't know, clearly you're just shitting on somebody, or I don't know. It's funky.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know what that means, and it kind of scares me a little bit. Just the wording makes
I
me
think,
very nervous.
the old, I think the old disclaimer we had, or was just don't be a dick or something
Yeah,
like
don't be a
that.
dick.
Well, I think that's enough. This
It's
feels
enough. This is like
confusing. Like, I'm not sure exactly what that
it
means. Whereas I
confuses me.
feel
It
like I
makes me
know what "don't be
nervous.
a dick" means.
Yeah, I know not to be a shithead. I don't know what malicious intent means, and it makes me nervous
Yeah,
just looking at it.
that's the thing. Is like it probably means the same thing, right? The intentions are probably the same, and it's. I mean, there's more words there, so it should be more specific than "don't be a dick." But to me, "don't be a dick" is like more appropriate and makes more sense to me.
Yeah, especially considering the population of the site.
Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's awards.
that's awards. Yeah.
We
Playoff predictions.
are yeah. Let's do playoff predictions because we are still just under an hour.
Heck yeah.
So
I haven't even done mine yet.
I'm not gonna do mine. This is all I'm gonna do.
What? Oh, come on.
You know me, baby. I don't update anymore. I'm just banking
You're
all my cash for my next
on that
guy.
downhill, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go and see how long Toronto takes to kick me out. And then I'll just go play for San Francisco.
Oh wow, is that? Are you me? Is that what's happening?
I think that was a key visual at one point or another.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. I don't remember what
Twitter.
what
I
it
don't
was.
remember what it was.
Yeah, no, it was. You said something like it was like not directed at anybody, but you just said something like cowards or something.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's yeah. It's a rich thing.
yeah.
Um.
So yeah, what do we got here? I hate how the conferences are labeled, and my brain doesn't do East West. But so West, Edmonton, LA would be first matchup. It takes me a while to remember which way is East and which way is West, because
Yeah.
for some reason
Yeah.
I have
It's yeah.
a problem with that. Anyway,
Edmonton, LA. I got Edmonton.
Edmonton for sure.
LA's not
Yeah,
that good, and Edmonton is that good.
right. It's the thing with Edmonton is like they're both good defensively and good offensively, so it's extremely unlikely that one of those two things doesn't show up, right? Or extremely unlikely that both of those things don't show up.
Yeah.
So they're either going to score or they're either going to stop the other team from scoring. So I think that gives them a really strong chance of winning. LA's a good team, but they're not Edmonton good. So there you go. Minus goal differential versus positive 78. So rip. Then we've got Texas Winnipeg. And Texas Winnipeg's a little trickier because I still have a lot of faith in Winnipeg, and especially since they came back from being kind of pretty bad earlier in the season. They have basically scored the same amount of goals through the regular season. Winnipeg just struggled defensively for whatever reason. So this is tough. I am not sure where to go with this. I think the smart money is probably on Texas, but I feel like it's a lot closer than like their. Their records really aren't that far apart either.
No,
that's not true. I guess they are. They're separated by 13 points.
9. Yeah. Smart money says Texas. Smart money says we're going to see Edmonton, Texas in the second round.
Yeah, I'm not confident in that pick though.
I don't think Winnipeg, especially without Volks, I don't think Winnipeg's got it in them.
That's true. I forgot they traded Volkova. Yeah, I'll take Texas. Probably Texas in like 6. Let's go.
That's a solid pick. Texas in 6. Did you give a number for Edmonton, LA?
No, like, can they win in 3? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's gonna be 4. It's gonna be 4.
I'll take them in 5 probably in the predictions.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And then in the East, we've got West Kendall, Toronto, and I would love to pick Toronto, but I'm gonna pick West Kendall because every time I pick Toronto, bad things happen.
Yeah, if I was on Toronto, I would 100% pick West Kendall because if you lose, you get TPE. So
yeah, I'm taking West Kendall in that matchup.
Yeah, I think they're the smarter bet. Toronto with the moves they made just stumbled a little bit.
But it's the playoffs. Anything can happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Stanley Cup.
Winnipeg. has, I think, clearly the better roster on the whole.
West Kendall.
Yeah, West Kendall, and then so just based on that, I'd give him the edge.
I'm giving the edge to West Kendall on that.
Take him in 6.
Yeah, 7. I think Toronto puts up a fight.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Minnesota, New England. This is a closer. This one's
Minnesota.
way closer.
I think it's Minnesota.
I mean, I'm gonna give it to Minnesota, but they're only separated by what, 1 win and 2 OT losses.
Yeah, I don't feel like New England really belongs in the playoffs.
New England's got a negative goal differential, so
yeah,
I don't
they
see New England getting out of this one
have
alive.
the worst goal differential in
the East.
In the East.
Yeah, I don't see New England getting out of this one alive.
Just, like I feel like they're only there because Buffalo just turned inside out for some reason. Yeah,
and because Manhattan couldn't get the job done.
Yeah, well, I mean, Manhattan shouldn't be able to get the job done.
They damn near did though, and it was very worrying as a Toronto player for like a sim.
That would have been rough. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like New England just doesn't belong. So I'll take Minnesota in.
That's a safe pick. I'll take Minnesota on that.
I'll take him in 5, I guess. I don't know, maybe 6. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give New England 6. I think New England will win a couple.
Do we want to do further rounds then, or do we want to?
Yeah, I mean, we might as well. Edmonton, Texas. Again, I'm taking Edmonton.
I'm taking Edmonton the whole way.
I'm taking Edmonton to win the cup.
Yeah, I think it's by far the safest bet. It's the safest. Like,
oh, did I lose you? Rich? Okay. Okay, we're still alive. So this is the first time this has ever happened.
What's that?
Oh, I lost you for like the last 40 seconds. It was dead.
Oh,
it was dead air.
Yeah, my connection was red there for a moment.
I completely lost you.
Awesome. Yeah, my stuff is freaking out again.
Yeah, no, it, like now. You weren't even. There was no sign that it was gonna happen. There was no like robo call.
Nice.
You just went dead silent, and I couldn't figure out if I crashed or if you crashed. So what? Can you say again what you said in the dead air for that?
Right. I was probably talking about how Edmonton is just the best team by so much, and that I had said that like picking the 1 seed feels like it never works out. But this season feels like it's stupid not to pick them.
This is the season I think it's going to work out.
Yeah, I feel like they're so much better than anybody else right now.
And that means we've got West Kendall, Minnesota in the East.
Yeah. Which again, this is the 1 and 2, which is never seems to work out that way, but we'll see.
Safe money says West Kendall.
Yeah,
but in 7.
Yeah, they're I think quite close. Yeah, I would take West Kendall. I'm sure. Probably in like 6, but.
And then I mean Edmonton, West Kendall.
We've
both already declared kind of that for me it's Edmonton.
Yeah,
Edmonton's the cup winner this year.
If there is a team that I think would beat them, it would be West Kendall, just given their roster strength. Their kind of overall forward strength is really good.
Yeah, but I don't want them to. That'll be what, 3 and 5 seasons?
I mean,
6,
that's not crazy. I mean, it's
that's like dynasty level. Come on now. The Oilers won 4 cups in like 6 years.
I mean, there would be a fair, not like a lot, but there'd be a little bit of enjoyment for me to see Edmonton like losing the first round, or just I mean, that's just to not win a cup in the position they're in would be kind of fantastic.
It would be hilarious. It would be genuine comedy.
Yeah.
No, trust me, I would love nothing more than a Toronto Los Angeles final. That'd be hilarious.
I think I prefer New England, Los Angeles. Get the 2
negative differential,
negative differentials in there.
That'd be funny. Hey, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. None of this is certain.
Be
kind of crazy. Or we could get Winnipeg, Toronto. Get Volkova playing against our old team. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be awesome.
Anything else? I mean,
revenge match.
We have
Texas playing against anybody would be fun. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to see Texas in the final.
Yeah, they haven't been there in a little while, have they? I mean, I guess
it's been a minute.
38 or something like that. They won,
37
right?
to 38, yeah.
Yeah, it had to. It was not 37, for sure, because that was Winnipeg.
Yeah,
So I want to say it was like, yeah,
that's
38,
38.
maybe
Maybe 39?
maybe
No,
39. Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
remember.
Look, the one thing I think we can all be ecstatic about is that Calgary didn't make the playoffs. We did it, boys. Calgary
Yeah,
finally
we did
didn't
it.
make the playoffs.
Great, great job, SHL. We did it.
This is a win. Collectively, the SHL should win the fucking Oneprienko for this.
Oh boy.
That's playoffs.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't really have anything else to talk about. I don't know about you.
yeah. Not really. I had meant to listen to Argar's podcast before this, but I totally forgot. I totally forgot it was even there until I went to look at our questions and saw his threat again. And it was like, oh yeah. And then of course we got the sneak preview of the big Slappy Hour, which I'm probably gonna listen to after this. Pretty hype. But yeah, there's not a whole lot else to talk about then, huh?
Nope.
Didn't we have a trade or something? I guess the Eggy trade we kind of already
We talked about
briefly
that.
touched
We
on.
touched on
Yeah.
that though. We made fun of
Yeah.
Calgary's logo while we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Short one this week.
Yeah. Yeah, relatively. I mean, we're still over an hour, right?
Yeah, we're about an hour 6 or
And
so.
make that money.
Get that bank, honestly. Okay, cool. If we're good, then
Yeah.
we'll call it there. As always, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We love you. I'm Adam, and this is Rich.
Hey.
And we'll see you next week for 29.
29.